Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I just want to make this video just because I've been going around on the Facebook marketplace recently, which has been really good for me when tracking down some really good deals, especially for gaming. But in the case of this one, this is a Sega Dreamcast, you might be thinking, wait, it's going high in price and it's a really good game system, so what's wrong? Well, it all started back on, I think about a week before I think it was about a week or two before Christmas, and there was this guy on the Facebook Marketplace named Scuba. Yeah, that's his actual first name, but I'm not going to mention his last name. Yeah, Scuba, out of all things. And he had listed a Dreamcast lot that included the system, two controllers, and the hookups, as well as a game. So, he it said like $1, but that means like they have their like set prices, or they'll take like whatever offer they can. And this guy just seemed, in his description, he just really wanted to get it out of his place as soon as possible. So I threw in $20. Initially, he accepted, and I was actually pretty excited about that because these things completed, they can fetch up anywhere to nearly $80 to $100, provided that they work. So, I tried to contact this guy to see when he'll be available, and he was kind of unresponsive at times. And I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions, but anyways, when it came to the day that we agreed to, which was Christmas Eve, which was the night of Christmas Eve, because I didn't want to go to my family's Christmas Eve party, and that's a whole different story that I'm not going to get into. Maybe some other time. But anyways, I was prepared to drive down to Worcester, which I really don't like doing because it's almost as bad as driving into Boston. And anyone will tell you that driving into Boston to and out sucks, especially when you go to the Logan Airport. And I don't care who you are, driving in and out of Boston is horrific. I'm just saying it right now. Anyways, before I went down to Worcester, he all of a sudden around like 3 or 4 p.m. We initially agreed around like between the early morning and early afternoon, like late morning and early afternoon. But he didn't respond until like 4 p.m. And then he tells me that his wife would not take anything less than $35. So I was kind of bummed about that because I wanted to get this for a steal at $20. And he said that she was kind of like sentimental, that she didn't want to like let it go for less than what she was asking for. And if she was so adamant about letting this go, then I would assume she would speak to me herself about it. But I digress. Anyways, so I accepted the $35 because I could still make a good profit on this. And if I ever wanted, I could mod this and get more money out of it, but I think that's a bit of like a hassle. But anyways, so I drive down there, and needless to say, it sucked. I didn't get into any accident, but it sucked. I just hated all the bumpy roads and crap in Worcester. So I get to the guy's house, and initially I did not even know which house it was. Was it like the one on the right, or was it one like on the left? Like the GPS was telling me it was on the right, but it didn't seem to be anyone home. So the lights were on, so I knocked on the door politely and waited. And after like about 5 to 10 minutes, there was a guy behind me, and he introduced himself as a guy on the Facebook marketplace, Scuba. He had in bag, a clear bag, the system and all the things and such, and I went to give him $35, but the thing is, I only had 20s on me. And the thing is, he said he didn't have any change on him. No bills, no coins whatsoever. So I stood there for about a minute trying to think of what to do because I did not want to go back to my place empty-handed. So I go down the hill to Honey Farms to break a 20. And the guy was the cashier guy was more than kind enough to break it. So I went back up to the guy, and the reason Scuba couldn't break of 20 was because he said like his family was like already spent their money for Christmas gifts for their kids. But it was kind of shady. But anyways, I drive back up. I was still in my truck. And here's the thing, like, he asked if I wanted to bring him with me to the store, which was kind of shady, but I said no. I'll do it myself. So anyways, I gave him the money. I got the system and such, and I was like so exhausted after that that I just went up to Popeyes and just got myself some chicken. I was really tired. So then I wake up like early in the morning to discover that some things were wrong about this. So I'm going to show you what it is that's wrong here. First of all, these are not the AV cables for the Dreamcast, but rather AV cables as well as S-Video for the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. And as you can see, yeah, that's a far cry from air fitting. So I have no use for this, especially the S-Video, because first of all, my flat screen doesn't accept S-Video, and I have component cables for my PlayStation 2, so this is garbage. The second problem is the power cable. Now, how can you get something like the power cable wrong? Well, if you could see, this groove is just unusually shaped. It's for something else. It's not the two-prong style that I'm used to. Yeah, that's not going to fit at all. Now, I could carve this out to make it fit, but I really don't want to. Oh, and I should also note that that AV cable, along with this and the controllers, are wrapped in electrical wire. So that's kind of shady even more. It almost makes me wonder whether or not this was stolen. But anyways, actually, I do have like plenty of other two-prong cables. They're like extremely common. Then we have the game, which is NBA to NBC, which I'm not really into. But the thing is, I'm not sure how well that shows on camera, but that's all messed up and scratched up. So I could get it resurfaced for $3, but I really don't want to. So we get to the controllers. Now, this one looks fine, even though it's kind of like dirty, but that's alright, I can clean it. However, this one is not, because this here looks like bite marks from a dog or a cat, or I don't know. And it's also dirty as well, so I don't know what was going on with him. Now, the only thing I could do to solve this is to like take a file and like sand it down. Although it's not going to look brand new, it'll look much better and smoother than it was before. So, yeah. So then we have the system itself. Now, it doesn't look too bad. It has that black mark, which I could take off with like a magic eraser or something like that. And it looks fine, although initially this button was like a bit sticky, so I had to hit on it now and again. And I plugged my two-prong cable in. It does power up, but it made this weird noise on the fan, which kind of concerns me. So I'll have to take it apart and see what's wrong with it. And I haven't tested a game in yet, so I'm not sure if this will read games at all. So once I made this like concern with the AV cables, I contacted Scuba, and he was sympathetic, and he offered to meet up with me with where I was instead of me driving all the way back to Worcester to get the cables from him, because I don't know how you can switch those cables up by accident. They don't even look identical. So I contacted him for weeks, for like 2-3 weeks, and every time I ask him when he's going to be around, he said like sometime soon, and then he just like came up to me and said like it has to be on the weekdays, and I'm like, okay. So I said like Monday, and that meeting was supposed to happen last week. And to this moment, by the time you see this video, I still have not heard back from him. So what can I say about this? Well, when you're going to the Facebook Marketplace, one of the things you should always do is always ask for more photos of the item if there's only one photo of that in that listing, which is exactly what happened in my case. And always ask for more details, which I kind of didn't do because I figured I should just throw out $20 and he accepts it, then I'll tackle with whatever problems there are from there. But I've known better since then. And the way, like, that one photo he had, he didn't even show the controller that had, like, the bite marks on it. He just had it covered up like this. I mean, I'll show you the photo in that, like, in this video post-edit. So, just be aware of the marketplace or any marketplace app you use. And always ask for more details. And always ask for more photos. And you have to establish a clear and consistent communication system with that person that is trying to sell that item to you. Because if that person is not going to be responsive, then what's the point? So, I don't know what else might be wrong with this, but I'm hoping it's nothing severe. Because I do have... So, and as for the AV cables, I had to run to That's Entertainment to buy a replacement for $10. Now, granted, these aren't the OEM Dreamcast cables. They will sure work with this system. So, yeah, just be aware of what you're looking at. And always ask for more details. So, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all later.